old is your mirror image? Imagine a building. What is it made of? The answer: bricks, sand, stone, wood, concrete, etc. Now the next question arises. What are you made of? Cells? And how many cells are there in your body? The answer might baffle you, but the answer is 50 trillion cells. It's nearly 6,000 times of world population. What is so special of human cells? The cells which you have inside your body. Each human cell is equal to one person. Imagine your name is Justin, and Justin is made of 50 trillion cells. So 50 trillion cells is equal to 50 trillion Justins inside the Justin whom you see in the mirror. Is it scary? Then wait, there is more. All the Justins will have the same thoughts, feelings and emotions of the person Justin, which means 50 trillion Justins are thinking the same thought and having the same feelings and emotions of Justin. So what's the problem? Let's take an incident in Justin's life. Biju is Justin's best friend. He hurt Justin unknowingly. Justin's mind and intelligence gives the information. Biju hurt me. He's not worth to be my friend. Should I talk to him again? Should I ask an explanation? And the inner talk goes on and on non-stop. That is when the problem begins. 50 trillion cells inside Justin will have the same thoughts. Biju hurt me. Biju is my enemy. Never talk to Biju. When all these thoughts and many more are rolling, anger rises inside Justin, and all the 50 trillion cells of Justin will have the same feeling. They too become angry. Let me ask you, what will you do when you are angry? Exactly, you fight. Likewise, all the 50 trillion Justins in Justin's body starts fighting against each other. Imagine it's not 1 or 2% fight. It's 6,000 times of world population that is inside Justin fighting among each other. Who created the situation? Naturally, it's Justin. Is it Biju? No. How can that be possible? Biju didn't put any thoughts inside Justin. He only hurt Justin unknowingly, which Justin could have forgiven and forgotten. He could have avoided all this drama. Now what will be the situation inside Justin's body? A war zone making Justin sick. And what about Biju, whom we all blame as the reason? Biju didn't even know that he had hurt Justin. If he had known, he might have said sorry. That's what we all do. Likewise, do yourself a great favor. If you have a problem, just say it openly and clear it immediately. Or else you know what will happen to you. If you're angry with someone, if you're not in speaking terms with someone, do not hold on to it. Forgive them and be friends and love them unconditionally. Let me tell my story. There was a time when education in the boarding school was a prestigious issue. So my sibling and myself naturally became a family's prestige. We studied in boarding school from kindergarten. I don't remember everything, but one thing I remember very clearly. I often lost my pencils. Like an actress changing dresses, my pencil never stayed with me. When you're a 5-year-old, your things usually become public property. My parents knew about it, so they gave enough pencils and erasers to the boarding mistress to give me whenever I lost it. But unfortunately, the boarding mistress had other ideas. First time when I lost my pencil, I readily requested the nun for a pencil, and she scolded me for not taking care of my things and gave me one pencil. To avoid an extra scolding, I didn't ask for the eraser. You might feel how unfair my life was. Not really, there was nothing unfair. It is what it is. In reality, the universe was preparing me to use my power which was in me. Unfortunately, I didn't know about having any powers except survive. Let me continue my story. I didn't lose my things purposefully. I usually kept my pencils in my box or bag and it vanished from there. Second time I lost my pencil and I knew I will surely get the scoldings, but I had no choice other than ask a pencil. Well, this time I received a thrashing along with the pencil. I really was fed up of scoldings and punishments for losing my pencil, so I decided to be without a pencil. I even wrote with white color pencil. When you look at my circumstance, do you think my circumstance can be changed? If you use your intelligence, the answer is no. As I told, the universe was preparing me to use my inner power. I started wishing for a pencil. Each time when I lost one pencil, I wished for a pencil and it started coming my way. I know it is unbelievable, but it's true. Sometimes I find a pencil in the playground or on the path I walk or children gave me as a gift. One day, I became conscious of the universe really fulfilling my wish. In the month of February, just before the final examination, I lost my science notebook. I informed my science teacher about it. During those times, we had to study the whole book for the final exams. Unfortunately, all my chapters were in that lost book. My teacher said, "Better start writing now and submit it for correction after 3 days." That moment I knew I'll get punishment from this teacher and the boarding mistress. I took a long breath to stop the tears from flowing down in front of the class and slowly went back to my seat. How am I going to create a science notebook? But still, I wished. When you're very sad, you wish to be alone. But when you're in the boarding, you will not have the luxury to be alone. So I found a perfect place to be alone. The chapel. It is the only place where no one will disturb you and you're free to pray anytime. I went in there. There was a statue of infant Jesus near the door. You know, a 5-year-old alone in the boarding, away from family, and an infant Jesus alone in a room can become best of friends immediately. So I sat in front of it and started talking to it. Do you know what I said to that statue? "Hey, hi, are you scared to be alone in this room?" Believe me, I'll be. You know, you're very lucky that you're a statue. You don't have to go to school. No homework, no boarding mistress, no losing pencils or no scoldings. And I even advised the statue, "The world outside this chapel is very bad." And I continued, "Do you know, I have lost my science notebook and I have no idea how I will study for my finals." After that talk, my sadness vanished. I came out of the chapel with a big smile. I didn't even care for my lost book. And while I was coming down the flight of stairs, my junior, a 3-year-old boarder, was waiting for me, holding my lost science notebook. Imagine my surprise. She had accidentally taken it and put it in her bag. Even now, I believe it was a miracle. How can a 3-year-old know it was my book? I returned with the notebook to the chapel and spoke to the statue. "Hey, I found the book. Thanks for hearing me. See you tomorrow." Though I grew up and changed many schools, that personal talk never stopped. My suggestion: have a best friend with whom you can share your inner thoughts and feelings. If the best friend is you, then you're very lucky. How did the book show up? The 5-year-old child didn't blame anyone for her situation. She had no complaints. That is the key to make things happen. Her thoughts, feelings, and emotions, which you may call the Trinity, had nothing negative, and the 50 trillion cells inside her had the same positive thoughts, feelings, and emotions, which became a magnet and attracted the book. That much power every human being has. So be conscious when you think and be careful with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. The cells in you become a mirror when you think. So think good, think right. But there is one doubt which needs clearing. How can 50 trillion cells inside you become a magnet? For that, we need to find who are you, because it's time to know your power. Show some respect to yourself and feel proud of you and love you as you are and make a difference. See you next week. Until then, take care.